It's Katie with day 28 of Breast Health Awareness Month. And today we're going to talk about the importance of vitamin D and how to get it. Well, yeah, the best ways, like everything, is the natural way. So there are two ways to get it naturally. One is the sun. Yes, vitamin D is known as the sunshine vitamin because your skin converts the sunshine into vitamin D. But there's a couple of caveats to that. One, right, first of all, you have to live in a sunny climate. Secondly, you have to have no sunscreen on. And thirdly, your skin could determine, like, the darker your skin, the less likely you are to be able to convert sunshine into vitamin D. And then the last thing is that we are now moving into the winter months, at least here in the United States we are. So, or this part of the hemisphere, I shouldn't just say United States. There's a large part of the world that is right now going into winter. And for those of us that are moving into winter, you convert less of it. So again, the same reasons I would say in the summer, be careful about being out in the sun in the midday when the sun is, without sunscreen. And that's a whole nother topic, appropriate sunscreens for another day. But anyway, it's really important to get enough vitamin D. And in the winter, in a lot of areas, it's very hard to get enough. So you may need to supplement. But before we get there, the second way is through your food. The thing is, there aren't that many super high vitamin D foods, but there are some things like egg yolks and let's see, I had a list here, but salmon, sardines, shrimp. And of course, there's a bigger list of things that are fortified with vitamin D, but that's a little different, right? Of course, milk is the big one, right? We've always known that vitamin D is good for developing strong bones and teeth, but now we're learning that it has so many other functions, right? Especially with preventing disease and your immune system. One of the things it does is it regulates your absorption of calcium, that's the strong teeth and bones, and also phosphorus. But again, the immune system is the new thing we're learning. Like vitamin D can help you prevent getting the flu and the big C word, all kinds of things. So basically, you do want to make sure you're having adequate levels. And this is most people, it's not on their radar. They don't know what their vitamin D levels are. So, I would suggest on your next annual appointment or with your doctor, certainly if you're someone on a healing journey, it's something your oncologist can add to the blood panel. I will caution you, I think this is just nuts, but for some reason, insurance now is choosing not to cover it in a lot of cases. They're kind of saying that it's unnecessary to get your vitamin D levels, which is totally not true. You totally do want to look at your vitamin D levels. And especially because, if you do start supplementing, which your doctor will tell you if your levels are low, you want to stay on top of it because there is such a thing as too much of a good thing, right? You don't want high levels of vitamin D either, which again, you're not going to have high levels if you're not supplementing. It's like pretty hard to get too much vitamin D from, say, sunshine and food. But you can if you are also supplementing, say, 1,000 to 5,000 IUs every day, which is kind of the range where a lot of people supplement. But it's super important. I would say if you've had breast cancer or whatnot, I would say definitely throw it on your radar. Not a lot of traditional doctors follow this, but I'm telling you, I've been following a lot of people for a long time, and they all agree that it's a super important vitamin. And a lot of people will say too, you need it, vitamin D3, a specific vitamin, and that it's often better absorbed when you have the K vitamins with it. But just real quickly, a couple other things. It reduces depression, it boosts weight loss. And how you might be deficient is if you live in an area with high pollution, if you're using sunscreen, I mentioned, if you spend a lot of time indoors, if you're in a big city where you don't get a lot of sunlight, and again, if you have dark skin. Those are all things that will limit you from getting your vitamin D conversion from the sun. So again, just things to think about, more things to think about, but put it on your radar, get your vitamin D levels checked, and get out there in the sunshine, because that's the best way, and it's also just so great. So Well, like I said, we'll get to the sunscreen thing in a later, but it is okay. You don't always have to be slathered in sunscreen, especially this time of year. It's totally fine to go out and get a good 20 minutes of sunlight every day. Okay, that's your tip of the day, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Okay, guys, take care. Bye-bye.